Hello, listeners. This morning we are extremely privileged to have with us none other than Mr. Moko Koza, rapper and songwriter, everybody's favorite. We had a conversation way back in 2021, and we are extremely privileged to have you in our Morning Ecos program once again. So, to begin with, did you ever imagine that you would become this popular way back? Everybody knows your name now, and you are making it really big in the music industry. So, what was your initial thought?
So I never really had that thought that man jano. I think it was the process na going with the flow, and then gradually ngana ikta duita na release kure to manon mi khushi pai na, and then it like went viral and all. So yeah, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Moko, one thing that I really like about your music and your content is that these days kids, they are really influenced by Japanese culture, Korean culture, and since you're into rapping, maybe the black culture, right? But then you're one person that is promoting Naga culture. So how did this influence came about? What made you so patriotic and proud of your own culture, and what made you decide that you want to portray and highlight Naga culture in the manner that you're doing right now?
So music banai thakamde maybe English shuru English language par shuru kurse, but English to a lot limited hui jaina man society they like a lot the older generation can message to napunji jai. So I thought of like trying it in local language. So that was very effective when I tried in like Atenidi language and Nagamese they try gredo. Kali bacha han youth no hina to bura buri han so buji jai na. So I felt like music to in the Gana Krela like message we or like it's a powerful tool to like express our voice. Exactly. So through that I felt like the local languages also it's very important that I do in my music so that it can reach out to a wider audience. Yeah.
Now, since we're talking about Naga culture, I would like to refer your song Boy from the Hills. Now, I'm curious to know what was the research and the thought process that went behind. What made you decide that you wanted to make a song on World War II? And yeah, kindly walk us through the process of making that song and the music video as well.
Initially, how the song came about was when I was young, my grandma, she used to like tell me stories about like when she was younger, and she went through that phase during that World War II. Bostira tademan jamala ho jado bostira polena Kohima de aise wado. So like growing up with all those stories, maybe like as a musician inspired to jaina. So and I always wanted to like write songs about especially the Naga culture, nijo culture hanbi, because I felt like books can be music so I wanted to like portray those stories through music also. So came about, and then I gana likhi dekina ito chorus part B. I had that idea of like bringing that lullaby song na ito tini dire. So the song came out like how I wanted. And then moving forward with the music video, I got in touch with Asali PCA, and I shared with him idea share kurna. So he was so much interested, and he wanted to be involved in the music video. So I shared with him. We went to my native village, Kejakino there. So it's a very historical village. It's called like historical village of the Nagas, legendary. So that stories can like all people can stories pota like how like they survived the war and all. So this is how the song came about.
You have also performed all across the country, collaborated with various artists. So kindly share with the listeners some of your experiences, and not just collaborating and performing. You have also went on to win many awards also. So if you could share some of your experiences with the listeners.
So like coming out from a like small place, Nagaland, right now Bahar Jado, it's a opportunity firstly, and then Jaina like Bahar is in a nutun audience can introduce why we like I feel like I'm taking a part of Nagaland outside and letting people know. So like because most of them they don't know like Nagaland Sarvi Northeast man na jane those states kan, so they are fascinated now with like especially the music, the kind of music we make, because like their way of making music is different, and then coming out from the northeast side of music it's different. So it's always like good meeting up with like new people new audiences, and me of course nervous because like nutun crowd I say like we sometimes we get nervous that tan mala music kushi paw na paw, but it was very well received by like especially the audiences.
Right, good to know that, and thank you so much for sharing your experiences. Now, how did you end up in the entertainment industry? How would you explain Moko Koza when he is not performing? Yes.
Yeah, firstly, maybe like very low key person. I'm a very low key guy, but yeah, gradually it was very hard for me to get used to the entertainment field because like that is one very public. So sometimes I guess I put on two faces. Like bahar jaile perform really though I like it's a different person, but when I get backstage that very low-key, calm person, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to rapping, we see all those music videos and the lyrics, which are mostly explicit contents. So you are a proof that it can be about culture, it can be about storytelling, rapping, besides all the other negative aspects of this culture. So would you like to explain and elaborate more on that?
Gana likho gole to there are like lots of topics na bishi ase. So like what we see on the videos online YouTube kan ki dikhe tate to like flashy kan ki bishi dikhe hole it's not like we have to be like them na. Like there are lots of stories we have to tell from our side also mala jaga the story hole mota ase. So getting back to your question, itu explicit like words can chola it's for me I feel like sometimes I use it in my songs also, but it's not like I force myself to say it, but sometimes I use it as a form of expression, maybe to stress a particular line or a sentence. Itu sometimes I use cuss words also, but most of my songs I try to keep it minimum because I feel like cuss words na gana likho na por we have like different styles and different skills, yeah. So yeah.
And that's one thing that I really like about you, because many of the children, they also like your songs. It caters to different age groups also. So that is one thing which I really like about you, for not using too many slang terms, we can say. Now, what is the most challenging aspect of being a musician? If there's anything that you would like to share with the listeners, I'm sure there will be some.
Yeah. I think one main challenge would be like trying to stay relevant and trying to stay consistent. That's one of the biggest problems I think. As I came about with my journey and all, I learned that staying consistent, staying relevant is one of the biggest obstacle that we face, because usually like with a span of time we get lazy also. Like months bhi ho jai na, but to get back from that, like get out from that box again, to get back from that laziness aru consistent it's very hard, because like just the kind of music also we make, like we have to make sure that will it like make sense, or like will the people like it, or like is it relevant? So like all those relevant and consistency, I think that's one of the biggest challenges. Yeah,
obstacle, but then you have overcome all of those, and you're a good message for all those aspiring musicians also to stay consistent and sincere and hardworking, which has brought you lots of success at the same time. Now, what is that one myth about your profession that people assume?
I think people assume that like pisa kamay na. Like we're crore-patis or lakpatis na. Like one night lex kamay. I think that's one of the biggest myth na. Yeah.
Now, talking about performance and getting paid at the same time, what is one thing that you like about Naga audience, and one thing that you don't like about Naga audience when you perform?
Of course, like it's always good performing to our own people, with our own people. Perform kule to balas perform kule. But sometimes, like some people, like kita ba man perform kule like we have done our set, man na ito set list to perform kule na. But they'll come and like maybe a little drunk, and then aru jai na perform kule. So requesting. So ito to kita ba alchi ho na, because man part kule so they should enjoy the rest of the night na. Yeah.
Right. I'm jumping from one topic to the other, but you mentioned about singing in our own dialect, which is Nagamis. Do you face challenges while writing lyrics in Nagamis? Because we're not very rich, when it comes to Nagamis also, we have more options in English. So does it become like a challenge for you sometimes when you write lyrics?
Yeah, of course. Writing in Nagamis dialect, it's very limited. So like say for example I wrote the song Nagamanu. The next time I write a song, I have to make sure that tane Nagamanu the words can it one. I wrote not try to like use many of those words because it'll sound very similar again. So yeah, challenges to pay. And then especially how to rhyme it, rap to rhyme for like na to have to be like Mishi babina likho lagi jai. Yeah.
Exactly. So what has been the highlight of your career so far?
And then so far in our journey that and of course very grateful. First thanks to God and all. Because of him also like I got this far also and then still a long way to go. And then I think the biggest highlight would be like people especially I never thought maybe 1-2 years will be like just very young they couldn't speak also but
They know your song.
they know my song and then Bura Buri will be that huge generation gap will be like the age gap will be like I never thought like I was back then I was only thinking about putting music out for like only my age group and all. I never thought that young kids or like older people would be into my music and so I think the biggest highlight would be like relating with people through my music. Yeah, that's one of the biggest sharing the same feelings and then relating to each other. Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest highlight.
True. Do you enjoy being recognized whenever you go about, doing your own thing after becoming famous? Let's just put it in that manner.
I think it has its own pros and cons also. Of course, pros little like sometimes you enjoy the benefits also, but cons is a little sometimes like you just want to like chupchap go to a restaurant, chupchap kainan ni chupchap or go up jaum. Sometimes you're not like you just want to like you don't want to dress well also. Just be normal dressing. Kita about like achanak you're noticed na so you have to make sure private life and this public life private TV kita public na to yeah sometimes that I think that's one of the cons. Yeah,
based on your years of experience, what advice would you like to give to all those aspiring musicians or maybe rappers, to be more specific?
I think like if you really want to be a musician like the road is not easy. Like we tend to give up halfway. We sometimes we get carried away by like how many likes or like we only depend on the likes and the views. I'm just getting like few hundred views only, some few thousand views only. I think it's not for me or something like parents family pressure and then this and that. At the end of the day nobody's doing it for you, you're doing it for yourself. So halfway there it's like motivation is very much important. So if you're really up for it, I would encourage the aspiring musician like go for it. Don't like even though you fall back, learn how to get up and like go full on.
Moko, kindly tell us, what are your future plans? What are you working on currently at the moment? Or are you about to travel? Are you working on some songs? Tell us your future plans, yes.
Yeah, so currently for this year, I'm trying to like focus more on Nagamis songs. And then I'm trying to like come up with an EP of like all Nagamis songs.
What is EP?
EP is like extended play. So it's like the mini version of an album.
Achha,
yeah.
Achha.
So Nagamis focus try and I have lots of like topics but still yet to write and compose the music also. But yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Now that brings me to another question. What is your thought process or your creative process? How do you work on a song? What inspires you? Yeah.
It's very random. Thought process very random like me but like when it's very random you're just chilling out or like outside walking. So it's very random and I have this one very cheesy also but one time I was sitting and then we all have been through this situation where like manu malo de bakiluina mangedaru mala galti ni sina. So I've been in that similar situation once. So like that's a situation maybe not only me but busy face so yeah, very random.
And that Puisa song came about or what?
No, Puisa was like when I first wanted to try Nagami song Puisa was I think just hit me because money is like we can talk about many things when it comes to money. So yeah.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Moko, for having this conversation with us and sparing your time. And lastly, what message would you like to give to all the listeners?
I just want to give out the message to everyone. Like, thank you, everyone. Someone busy things they say like for always supporting my music, and then put God first and then never give up.
Please like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for the latest contents. Also, follow us on all our social media handles.